Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just sitting on the couch lounging in this sun, and I wanted to pop in here with just a couple of things that I wanted to share from a conversation I was having with my higher self this morning, which was really interesting. And and I'm lounging around because I was up till 3 a.m. watching the men's Wimbledon final, and I'm just having a loungy day, and I feel the energy is beautiful. Well, I'm feeling it anyway because I was really connecting in with my higher self, and I had the candle going, and I always felt at peace, and I've felt the energy today quite at peace, relaxed, like pretty zen. And so I wanted to pop in here and share some stuff, and this was regarding soul, shining our light. Do we have limiting beliefs around where we shine our light, or how we shine our light, I should say, not where, how we shine our light? Is that what's blocking certain abundance in our life, financial abundance, maybe love, because abundance is a whole umbrella of all different sorts of things. And so I had a good chat with my higher self, and I thought you might like to hear some of it. It might be something that you're going through. I also was connecting in with the energy at the moment, and just also we're talking about that because it was all part and parcel of all of it, right? Like, this is what's happening when things are coming up and are realigning in our soul, is kind of we're being shown that, we choose our soul here, but then our ego comes in for the last 20% of it and directs whatever we're doing in the wrong way. And we go, but hang on, but that's where my soul guided me. So why did that stuff up? Well, because you didn't completely 100% listen to your soul. You came in with your ego at some part, and then that took it in a different direction. So there's lots of things we were talking about, and this is what I wanted to share. And so I'm going to share something that's coming, not really coming up for me, but what I'm having an awareness of at the moment. And this is that I just sort of said to my higher self this morning, look, like, what's going on out of all the things I've created on this spiritual path, right? I've created a book, a course, these are things that are out there. At one particular time I was selling merchandise, and with quotes and things, and spiritual quotes. I've tried a lot of different things, right? And I'm proud of the things I've tried. What else? Oh, my coaching, of course. I was coaching for years and stuff like that. So a lot of things I've done have they've brought some abundance, but not like huge amounts of abundance, financial abundance I'm talking about. And I've always felt like I've been in a bit of struggle town with that. And we're not meant to be in struggle town with that, because when we are performing 100% from our soul, and we're aligned, and we are full abundant beings, right? We're infinite beings having this human experience. So don't forget that. We are limitless. We are limitless beings, although often, more times than not, we create from being a limited being. So we're limitless. Our possibilities are limitless. Our possibilities are endless. It's our birthright to have abundance. When we come into this earth, into this physical vessel, right? We are infinite beings having this experience, but having access to the infinite abundance of the universe, right? So what's going on? And I know people talk about this, but I'm seriously saying this because I know it's real. I know it's true, right? The frequency we vibrate at, we can create anything. So I'm like, what's the deal? What's happening? Because I've got these things out there, a masterclass, whatever it is, and I'm shining my light. And I thought that once you start shining your light, and bringing that wisdom through and helping people, right, that's how the abundance will flow. So a couple of things. First and foremost, what I was shown is that for a long time, even though when I was still creating those, I was in an energy still a little bit of, because I was working on my worthiness, and I was in an energy still a bit worried about what people would say. Okay, so just putting stuff out. So not really so much about what people would say about my work or my creations, but also just, that negative crap on social media, backlash, all that sort of stuff. And I didn't know if I was really up for that. So I held back a lot because of that. So there was that. And then there was I just had unworthiness issues around that had been passed down from my mum around money, and her family, that side. So I've done a lot of clearing like through that over the years. And it's that I'm Gen X, so we're programmed very heavily to you only make money if you go out to work, go out to a job, not you can't make money online. Yet we are now in a completely different era where most people, like they probably make more money online than people do in a regular job. So many entrepreneurs and everyone that does all that sort of stuff, they make a lot of money in different times. And I mean, God, we're in an era where you can create a product and stick it on Amazon, and sometimes it makes a millionaire in 6 months. Do you know what I mean? We're in a very different world at the moment. So I've had to really, over the last few years, really work through a lot of, limiting beliefs I had around things, the stuck in the money block thing because of that. And it was tricky at times. And anyway, so I did all that, and my higher self was saying to me that, yeah, I had those blocks around that. And I'm like, okay, but what about now? What about, when I'm just not in control of it, I've let go of stuff and da-da-da-da. And what I was shown is that we can have a belief around how we shine our light. So how we see things could only work out or sell or whatever, or how you can make abundance. But my higher guidance showed me that there's other ways that we can't see, but we have to trust and have faith in how that can happen. So I'll give you a little example. Say, for instance, I'm making something or creating something, right? And then I think the only way for me to be able to get that out there is social media, because we're drummed in to a social media is the only way to put yourself out there. And I don't necessarily want to put myself out there, but I'm thinking to reach people, my spiritual path, how else do I do it? Pardon me. They have to know, I guess, who I am or my products or whatever. And obviously, people these days, you get skeptical people. They're not going to go and buy a product if they don't really know anything about you. You know what I mean? As in, well, are you a phony? Are you? Because there's so many out there, and I get it. There's so many out there that, so they do this and that, and they have lots and lots of followings, and they're just after the money and stuff like that. So, they're not as authentic, let's just say that way. And so I said to Spirit, oh, whoops, hang on one sec. I think my phone is going to die. Let me just plug the charger in. Sorry about this, I wasn't prepared. So it's a bit of an impromptu video. So what I was getting is just say example that, yeah, I create something and I think, oh, that's the only way I'm going to be able to express, my light, shine my light. And what I was shown is that other ways, for example, and this might not be how it happens, but I'll just give you an example. My daughter lives in LA. She is a film director and producer, and she's working on projects and stuff. And say, for instance, Spirit said, just say, for instance, that in one of those shows or a film, someone was reading your book. Right? And then that was in the movie or the show. And then that went out to the world. And then the world gets to see that book, right? Or whatever it is, or the product, okay? And they said that's another way of getting stuff out there without it having to, the slog on social media. And I never thought about it really like that. So Spirit was saying, you never know how things are going to happen or show up or how they're meant to go, right? But yet you're over here trying to do it this way because you think that's how it has to be done. Because why? Again, another program we're taught that's how you have to go. People say, but like, I don't even want to be on social media. I don't even really, I'm very grateful of social media and the people that I mix with on social media and here on YouTube and the loving connections and things. But I'm not really an out there, want to be in the public necessary. I'll do it if it's my path, but I'm not one of these people that are like, oh, I want to be out there and da-da-da-da. So as I said, I don't care either way, but it's not my first choice necessarily from my heart to be always picking up my phone and going on social media. So, but yet we're taught, because people have said to me several times, well, if you're not on social media, how do you think you're ever going to get, clients or get something sold or get your book out there or whatever it is? So I said, yeah, I know. So, I've continued to do it over the years, but Spirit said to me, there's more ways to do things, and we have to trust and have faith, because we don't know, we can't see what our higher self is guiding us to. So it's really important. These energies at the moment are giving us lots of aha moments around things that are not only not serving us, but things of limiting beliefs, how we thought it had to be. So you might go and create something from your soul, or you might have an idea or a decision, or make a decision from your soul. But then your next step, make sure you take it from your soul guidance as well. Don't let your ego come in and say, right, well, I've created this. Now the ego says I have to do it this way, right? So it could be something like you leave a job that's not serving you anymore, right? Yep, I've done that. So you've made the first step from your soul of choosing yourself. But then the next step, instead of listening to your soul of what you do next, you then go to hang on, but now I don't have any work, so I better go and just find another job. So you go straight back into something that's, not serving you either. So it's that sort of energy where anything that is not aligned with our soul is really coming up and showing us where to change and where to 100% listen to our soul in the full direction, and have faith and trust that there's an infinite amount of possibilities around us for things to happen, and don't block that. So, and be patient. Do you know what I mean? Like, not just think, okay, it's got to be out there tomorrow and da. So the more we just let go of control of how we see something should be, or probably is going to have to happen that way, or whatever, then the more we can allow that energy to come in. Because when we're in that other energy, we're not aligning with the door that's opening for the new way to come in. So, we're just thinking that that's the only way. And sometimes that can be playing small, right? So say, for instance, I had a hair in my mouth. Say, for instance, I'm over here, slogging it out on social media, trying to get my product out there or whatever. And yet in 6 months' time, and you sell you might sell a few hundred, I don't know. But then in 6 months' time, my product might end up, I don't know, on a TV show or on a podcast or something, I don't know. And then bang, it sells 1 million. I'm just using that as an example. But see how I'm too busy over here, grinding away over here. And the new energy is not a grind. The new earth energy, we're bringing in the golden age. We're bringing in the golden age. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm here to bring in the golden age. So that's the new earth energies. And the new earth energies are not slugging it along. It's not a grind. It's not a hustle. There's no hustle in the new earth energies. There's no grind. There's no, I better be over here doing it this way. There's also no have to show up now in the collective of how people are going to receive it best, because you do you and people will be ready for you. Do you know what I mean? So, there is a bit of, I guess, being strategic, but it's more about aligning. If you align with your path, who you're meant to be with, like what relationships you're creating, what work you're doing, anything that's happening basically in your external other than coming from you internal. So anything that's showing up in your external, whatever you want from that comes, obviously, as we know, the relationship we have to ourselves and our soul. So when we create from that, like if you want to show up in relationships better, that comes from internal. So you have to listen to your soul and your heart and create from that space. I don't even know why I kind of mentioned that, but what I'm hearing is that, abundance is, it's open to all of us, right? Financial abundance. And what I'm hearing is that we're here to create from the being, not the doing, and not the materialistic. So yes, we love materialistic things too. You know, we live in a 3D world, we live in a matrix world where there's cars and houses and, I don't know, motorbikes and planes and beautiful things, and you know, women like to go shopping and all that sort of stuff and buy pretty things. And we still live in that world, and hell yeah, why we can have that if we want to. Just because we're spiritual beings, we're all spiritual beings, but just because we're awakened like spiritual light workers on the path doesn't mean we can't have things that we want. Do you know what I mean? We can. And don't block ourselves from that. Don't say, oh well, I won't look at that because it's not about a house or a car or this or that. And it's not. It's only when you, what Spirit showed me, it's only when you're coming from that angle or after that, when you're creating a void inside yourself. So when you're going out and purchasing something or whatever to make you feel good because of your not doing your own healing from your own wounding, instead of facing the wound of why it's, you know, making you feel unhappy that you feel you need to go out and do that in the first place. So, and that works with everything, right? Like with addictions, you know, with drinking or drugs, whatever it is. Okay, they're all just an escape. You know, they're escape from what we don't want to see and look and face inside ourselves. So that's what happens. So again, getting back to soul, it's these energies are really listening to soul at the moment, and what I'm hearing is listen to every step, not just the first one or two. So listen to every step. And so when you get guided to do something and then you do that, right, then don't go back into the matrix side or the ego way of thinking out of fear or doubt. Go, okay, next step, soul. What's the next step? And the next step. And I've seen personally that anything that we might resist in, like struggle to set a boundary in, let go in, if we don't, it's going to re-loop really quickly and I was saying this on my social media the other day, where it's going to re-loop really quickly for us, these energies, to get rid of it, you know, basically to get rid of it. So if you've made, and I'm going to say the wrong decision because it's not soul aligned, if you've made that decision, pardon me, that's not soul aligned, then it'll re-loop again to give you a second chance. So it's kind of just a bit like, I guess I call it passing the test, but it's all an experience. But this is to obtain our higher timeline. You know, if you think of a topic, you think of like an octopus with all the tentacles, and a topic is always that you're healing. It's always got lots of little tentacles to it that you've got to also look at and heal as well. It's all these different aspects. And our personality, our ego, has so many different aspects of ourselves that we can think we're so aligned and creating from over here in our highest timeline of alignment to our soul. But then there's other aspects that are still healing that we might doubt or whatever. And then that's where we'll do one thing, but then we won't follow through over there. We'll come back over to the ego mind and we'll fall into that trap. Yeah. So yeah, there was kind of a whole beautiful energy around this conversation I was having this morning, and it was simple. It felt easy and simple and kind of basic, you know, guys, and it felt like it was like just have an awareness. I was going to say think, but I don't want to say think because we think too much. It was like have an awareness from our heart and soul in every way where we're creating. So another example for me at the moment is these things that we're looping again, a couple of things. So what happened is I was able to stay composed and calm, whereas previous times I might have had a reaction. So I was able to stay composed and calm, and then, which is that higher frequency, and then I could respond from that. Right, whatever I've decided to put in place or do, I could do that from that energy, and it flipped the energy. I wasn't recycling in the same pattern again with the same response, the same reaction, and then that would happen again. And I kept saying, and this same thing happened like about 3 times in a week. And I'm like, my God. why does this keep looping? And I'm like, I know why it's keep looping, because, okay, A, I wasn't setting the boundary, B, and I was going through these things in my head. So if you really feel something's looping, you know it's you. You know it's you that is not taking that higher stand, that higher timeline to not reloop. You know that you got to bite the bullet and just do it, because it's going to keep relooping. And I think, spirit, our higher selves, they're just really, they're higher aspect. It's funny fuckers at the moment, because they are just really going to keep relooping us fast if we do not make that adjustment, if we do not do it. And people say out there, hey, it's all life experience, there's no wrong, there is a perspective to that. It's a lower perspective. Everything has a higher perspective. The higher perspective of that is, yeah, you can stay like that if you want, but do you want just an average, shit life? Like, do you want to just keep looping in all that fuckery? Or do you want to actually, change it and start living the life and having a great life and bringing a lot of love into your life and abundance and joy and happiness and peace? It's coming from you within. You've got to make the change within first, right? So so lots of changes at the moment, and it's across the board with everything. It does not matter what you got going in your life. So for me, it was a big question around me trying to bring in more financial abundance for me. And I'm always focused on concentrating, when I'm not concentrating, but I'm always speaking to my higher self to see what's a better option for me from my soul. And at the end of the day, we're human in this body, and our surroundings and things around us, people around us. So I don't have a lot of people around me, so I've tried to protect my energy because I'm a very sensitive empath. But I've always had like a more smaller group of people around me, or friendship circle or anything like that. It doesn't mean I don't love those people, but I just find that there's certain ways for me in what I'm here to do. I'm pretty focused on my path here. But I want to have fun along the way as well. And so I wanted to share that with you guys today. I don't know what you're going through. Put in the comments down below if you feel like chatting about it. It's sort of funny, by the time this video comes out, I'll put it out now, but then, the energy changes again. But one thing that's not going to change is this to keep happening. It's just going to get more intense if you don't take action in these things and listen and ask your higher self, because you'll always get a response. So for me, I've probably whinged and complained about, why am I not making more money with this stuff? But at the same time, I might have asked Spirit, but then blocked myself to not hear, or asked Spirit, but then thought that this is something we can do too. We can still stay in the limiting belief of what we think around it, and we're trying to solve the problem in that belief, instead of actually blowing that belief up and going, oh, actually, it's nothing to do with that. I'm not even going to obtain my abundance from that way. It's not coming in from that door, it's coming in over here from this door. So why am I focusing all the attention on that door? And trying to figure out what the problem is in that door. So that's where you've got to really let go of everything, because you want to not be blocking your energy in any way. You want your energy to be open to receive from all different ways. When you're open like that and your heart's open to receive, your higher self can go, right, bang, bang. She's going to listen. She's switched on. She's aware. Look, I'll show her this direction. Da, 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 da. Right? This is going to come up. Because remember, when our higher self is setting things up for us and guiding, it's not just us. It's a whole lot of other external stuff that have to be also set up and, coordinated at the same time for it to happen. Say, for instance, you were supposed to go out and see a sign. If you are asking for a sign and then you went out and they showed you a sign in some way, right? Well, whatever that is has to be coordinated at that time for you to see that. You could be seeing a number on a number plate and you've got to pass the car at the same time, or whatever it is. Or you could see a name on a sign somewhere, and whatever's happening. Could be a traffic thing. So it's coordinated right down to the second, So always remember that, and when you get told to do something from your higher self, try and do it straight away, because everything's set up like that. So it's all about letting go of limiting beliefs, letting go of how you think you're going to shine your light. One of my beautiful favorite quotes is from Anne Lamott. It's a Lighthouse quote, and it's just phenomenal. Like, it's really impactful, and it is. If you haven't heard it, it goes something like this: lighthouses don't go running all over the island looking for boats to save. They just stand there shining, like they're shining their light. And it's absolutely amazing, because it really, in one small, couple of sentences, it tells us everything. Are you creating and then going, I've got to run out looking for all these boats to save all over the island to get your stuff out, or to get your light out there? Or are you creating in your being and then going, now I'm here, I'm a magnetic being, so I'm shining my light, and it's going to ripple out and get to where it needs to get to. Do you know what I mean? And I don't need to go out there and do the hustle and the grind, because that's not the new energies. I just need to shine my light this way and have trust and faith, and knowing that the universe is going to align with that, align with, that higher purpose, align with the higher abundance coming in. So I love that quote. It's one of my favorites. And when I'm getting a little bit off track sometimes, that'll come in, the spirit will put that in my head again. I'll hear that and I'll go, yes, haven't heard it that for ages, and I'll go, okay, I get it. I'm now running all over the island looking for boats to save, instead of standing still. So, so share that. If you've never heard it before, share that with others. I often share that. But so I guess I just cannot, I'll end this video saying I cannot probably put this out enough of what I'm hearing, is that just be more chilled, relaxed, be more zen, calm, patient, and listen. When I say patience, it's about listening to what you're being guided every step, not just the first or couple of steps. That's the recap. And also, don't be too in your limiting belief of how you think something has to be, because abundance can come in anyway. And this could be for love and everything too, anything else in your life. Like if you're looking for a new job, or a love interest, any sort of thing, always be aware. When I say, like, just have an awareness of what's going on around you, what your higher self is showing you in every step, not just the first couple. So I think that's it. I think there was something else I wanted to say, but obviously if I can't think of it, it doesn't need to be said. So have a good day, guys. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, cheers. Talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.